Hello and welcome back to The Unreliable Narrator, episode 9. So it's now time to hear our suspect theories before we discover who actually killed. I can't even remember the friggin' names now. It's been that long.
Recycle
Bin and Flo Pedis.
No, that was you.
Yeah, so I feel rather than going in reverse order, I might go forward this time. So we'll start with Paulie.
Hi. I know
who do you think might have done it?
It was Microsoft.
Mike. And what do we think gave him away?
The letters of the things that you read out spelt Microsoft.
Okay, interesting. So we're going with Mike.
I think, if I heard them correctly for the 12th, well, not the 12th time, but the third time. But that's what I'm going with.
Perfect theory. Let's move on to Lex.
I tried to count the letters and got so lost I couldn't do it. And I think I got a Y in there somewhere. So I think it was, in fact, Flop Edisk or Flo Pedisc, and she died accidentally.
Okay.
Because they said that their business was all about hacking into cameras, and that one of the hacky things had hacked into a camera and could see the crime scene. So they could have done that because they needed her software to do that. So she teamed up, but then they got greedy. So it actually is her and somebody else. I'm going to go with Floppy and Faye.
Floppy and Faye.
Which sound like two very disappointing rabbits.
Now that's a Bills and Moon novel that I want to read.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think she was double crossed by Faye, because Faye wanted in on the company. Oh wait, no, that was my own.
that was your
Yeah.
Let's solve your own murder mystery. Let's see if you don't know.
By it.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Joe.
I'll just be quick. Ian.
I
don't really like the name.
We've had worse theories,
and we've had Faye, we've had Mike, so Ian. You know, it's basically just so if those two are wrong and it is Ian, I can smile smugly at the end.
Okay.
Yep.
That works.
Logic.
I actually gave an actual reason, Joe.
Okay, I think it's Ian because
Reasons.
What did Ian do again?
No one knows.
He was one of the hackers.
Yeah, he I don't know, he hacked them. He was good at hacking. He hacked them real good.
Ian, let me just note this down. Ian hacked them real good.
Sounds about right, yeah.
This is why we're having some weeks off.
Yeah.
When I'm right though, then you know.
Yeah, true. Seb.
Right, so I think it was Ian.
Thank you,
but
Seb.
for a very specific and complicated, nonsensical reason.
Okay.
Basically, I sort of followed the acronyms that you were writing down with the source code and all that sort of thing. And as far as I can tell, I may not have been able to tell, but as far as I can tell, Faye was spelled out and Mike was spelled out, but Ian wasn't. Therefore, Ian is because your mind works in very bad ways. Ian is implicating Faye and Mike because the police will look at those logs and go, oh, look, she wrote her name down and Mike wrote his name down, but Ian didn't write his name down, therefore he's not guilty, but he was the guilty one. Why? God knows.
Excellent.
Exactly the same as Seb. I completely agree.
Ooh.
Lies.
A solid theory. And finally, Alice, have you got a page of notes this time?
No, but exactly that. I didn't manage to follow it all the way, but I got as far as FAY in the first one, and I managed to sort of pull myself together enough to get the OFT of the long list. So
Yep.
I was sort of labouring under the assumption that that was the end of Microsoft. And therefore, I think it's Ian. Because the other two probably wouldn't have implicated themselves as being the ones that did it beyond it was our company.
You logical sausages.
As Poirot says, you need to notice the things that aren't there.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
We
So,
were Bake Off week.
quickly running through, we've got 1 vote for Mike Rosoft, which was Paulie.
Yeah.
We've got 1 for Flop and Faye,
Yeah.
which was Lexi, and then 3 for Ian.
Yep.
Okay. Well, the time has come to reveal the actual killer of Reese
Like I'm about to be
Michael
really
Bin
upset.
and Flo P-Disc, and the killer was Mike Rosoft.
Yeah!
You see, Paulie was right all along.
In your face, Joe. In your face.
I mean, Joe was frozen.
Joe's frozen in horror. Let-
Oh, Joe.
Couldn't have been a worse time to freeze,
Yeah.
right?
That was
Literally.
quite a
Just,
stint.
just so everyone knows, from my end, I heard, and the killer was my soft. It was really sad.
Joe, someone was hacking you so you wouldn't find out you were wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, let me explain how you solved this.
Yeah.
And let me also explain that you definitely needed a bit of paper.
Which we're not allowed.
Well, you are after the fact, but just
Yeah.
not during. I disregarded the need for motives. Basically, these people admitted they did it, but the police wanted to know specifically which one of them did it. We also heard that, let me find the exact line. They put a bumper sticker on, so we knew it was definitely one of those because it was 321 Hacktivate that did it. But also, vigilante hacking groups are always keen to boast about their individual success stories and are notorious for leaving cryptic identifiers behind so they can claim credit among the dark web community. So these are people who did actively want to boast. But how would we be able to tell which one did what? Well, 3 things were released, and each of the 3 things had something hidden in them. So first of all, there was a video released, the pixelated footage of the crime being committed, which was entitled "Fancy Amusing Yourself? Fake Internet Liars Murdered. Enjoy Dis," which spells out, if you take the first letters, Faye filmed. So she was the one that recorded it,
I kind of said
which
that.
you actually had.
Yeah. See?
Ish. The second one was the peculiar one,
Yeah.
which was it was such a random thing that came out. A photo of severed limbs arranged into a top hat and magic wand with the caption, "Magician Dumbfounded Anthem." Well, that's meaningless, but what if you actually look at the words, what you have in those words is magic Ian, I-A-N, magician, found them. So we know that Ian found them. And then finally, this was the one that really gave it away. Paulie noticed that the run lines spelt out Microsoft at the start, but that's just a name. It could have been any of them. How do we know that he was the one that did it? Well, we know what the first letters spell out.
Oh, you.
What do the last letters of each of those command lines spell out? Microsoft, minimize task K, initiate.ini I, kill L, engage all L, run and execute E,
Killed.
overload D, system shut T, online path H, fatal error engage E. This is hacktivism M. Microsoft killed them.
Oh,
God, look at those satisfied faces.
I mean, fuck you.
Like I said, it's the hardest one I'm ever going to do.
I mean,
I just
want
want.
going to murder you.
I just wanted to go out on a
I
well,
know.
not out because there's still next week, but next week's something different entirely. I wanted one really, really hard one before this season concluded, and that was your really hard one. Like I said, never in a million years were people going to solve that, because unless you specifically had to get every word right, otherwise you couldn't solve it, which I knew was impossible. So the fact that it actually all went completely to cock immediately was irrelevant. Even if it had been slightly wrong, it would have been unsolvable.
But
Look at those.
Paulie got it right.
You're muted, Paulie.
He's just overcome with emotion at getting
Hear me
it right.
now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
Alright, well, it's quite funny though that Microsoft is the one that actually carried on through
Yeah,
much
that's,
everyone.
I thought that was odd, that actually the killer was the only name that properly survived until the end.
See, we knew in one level.
Subconsciously, you all knew.
Yeah.
but only Paulie knew for real. So congratulations to Paulie for solving this week's case.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
You know
congratulations.
what? The minute that you started listing off those, I was like, that's either one, just complete tosh to try and throw us off the line, or there's something in that. But obviously, I couldn't get it at the time.
Yeah. Yep. Well, especially after last week's when there was just a random list of stuff that was complete nonsense just to distract. I thought there's going to be another one this week and see whether they notice. But as I
At
said,
one point, you're going to put like something in a date, and like everyone's going to.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh my god. No.
Who knows what's going to happen next week?
Final episode.
Oh,
You do.
God.
Final episode.
People at home, I hope you enjoyed this week's. I hope you were able to solve it. You had the luxury of being able to pause and write it down, so I'm sure someone out there will have. But if you didn't have a pen, no chance. But anyway, that was my hardest. It will never be that hard again until I think of something even more cruel.
Yeah.
But thank you all for joining us. Thank you to our suspects for creating 5 brand new characters, telling 5 whole new mysteries. Do definitely join us again for next week's, because it will be something the likes of which you have never seen before.
Oh god.
God.
It is the season finale, and we are definitely, one way or another, going out with a bang. So, from USB to USBU, and do join us again next time. But in the meantime, from all the regular suspects, bye-bye.
Bye.